Welcome everyone with another review. We have the SABLE warrior over here, and we're going to find out, is this thing useful? Well, we are going just to do a very in-depth analysis of it. So, what are my thoughts about it? Well, first of all, let's quick out of this test because I'm going to do a proper one. The short answer is yes. I mean, it is quite an item to get. Of course, it's not mandatory if you don't use drones that often, and it can happen. So we're going to do a couple of things over here. I'm going to do a test comparing it with the Oak Quaker, with the current best drone in the game, and then I'm going to have a couple of online matches. Hope that sounds good. Let's look at the stats over here. This is the build that I will use for the test. Okay, so first of all, with the SABLE warrior, we have a durability of 18k, speed of 116k, maneuverability of 117, view range of 11.8. You only have one squadron. You have one missile that is normal, but fairly quick, one that is anti-flare, and we have grenade launchers, which is actually interesting because these are guided. We're going to look more about it. No, actually, this is the guided one, and this is not flareable. So you have one unflareable, and you have two missiles. It cannot hit submarines. Okay, but if we compare with a Oak Quaker over here, which I have it next to me, which is very convenient, right? Durability wise, it has more durability. However, this one has two squadrons into it. So even if someone takes out one of the drones, still any extra damage is wasted. Let's put it this way, because it was one of the planes was taken out. Whereas in this one, it's only one squadron, so it will take most of the hits. Speed wise, you are going to notice that the SABLE warrior is faster than Oak Quaker with 98. Maneuverability, you are going to see that again it's more maneuverable, has more maneuverability. View range is similar, but let's now go into a test. Right, first of all, let's launch it over here into a pilot test over here. The thing that I'm just going to show you over here, right, is the burst damage. Okay, the burst damage. So let's first try it with the Oak Quaker. First of all, we can see how it looks. It's slightly slower than the Oak Quaker afterburner. Looks wise, it looks very nice. I'll have to say. They have the intention of merging almost two drones in one. Let's put it, well, it looks like that. It gives that impression. It looks like something that comes from Star Trek. Let's go with the burst damage. Okay, so let's just reduce speed. Missile 1, missile 2, missile 3. Total burst damage 159. 159 burst damage. Okay, so if we compare it with the Oak Quaker over here. Okay, no, this is not the Oak Quaker. Let's go with this one over here. Okay, so if we compare it with the Oak Quaker, right? You have 60 and 68, so we have like around 130 burst damage. So the SABLE, the new SABLE warrior, let's put it this way, has more burst damage than Oak Quaker. So that is quite impressive. Speed is fairly high. As I mentioned previously, it cannot target submarines. Yeah, so that is, again, if it could target submarines, that will be just insane. That would just be like completely busted if that's my opinion. So that is quite an impressive burst damage, I have to say, and you really feel that you launch a lot of anti-guided missiles. When you hit this, and it's quite a damage as well. But now what we're going to do is that we are going to bring this into an online match, shall we? And final thing, I'm going to show you again the burst damage of the Quaker. Maybe not. Yes, okay. Again, 100 is going to be like again a gun around 130k, so it's 20k less. Let's go to the matches. Okay, we're going to try this match over here with the new drone. What are my thoughts about it? Well, first of all, maybe you already noticed is something you should consider getting or not. We're going to find out. I got it because it is actually I consider it's a very good drone, superior to the best one in any way, with the exception of the size of the squadron. But we're going to pretty much give it to the test, right? So I'm going to launch this time around the drone first, because of course we're testing this new boy. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, this is interesting, very interesting. First I'm trying it without the trick. I thought for a moment I thought I could not do it, but that was just me. That's sloppy side from my side. And as you can see, Jesus Christ, as you can see, it can do its damage very well. The reload seems to be okay. The guided missiles are not as you are used to. I think you need to be facing the ship in order to launch them, which I find it interesting. That's why maybe I could not launch the guided missiles before. Let's go with Quaker, right? The Quaker, of course, you have the capability of doing the trick, and you can hit anything. But again, I found it fairly I think it hits like a truck. I have to do a couple more tests regarding the initial launch, if you can hit the anti-guided missiles and do the trick, but for now we're just going to finish the match. Okay, we are just going to help our teammates over here against this lovely submarine, right? Remember, this is an online match. This is an online match, because so yeah, again, the importance of having again a good autocannon against submarines is beyond. Okay, so let's see how much damage were we able to do with Quaker with 2 rounds per attack. Let's see, 119. If I had another round, that will be like 230, 240. If this was a prolonged match, this will be around 400. So that's quite 300 or 400 for a drone. That's a lot of damage. Of course, I cannot compare it with the Quaker because everything died very quickly. Okay, let's try a second match. Okay, let's try this match. Let's see if we can have enemies that last longer, so we have a proper review. Okay, so we are going to try this again, right? I'm going to position my Yutiang fast. I'm going to open the map first, right? Try to open my team before they start saying, let's open the map. Please open the map. And yes, that's why we have a fighter, and that's why in my review I said the importance of having a fighter. Okay. So we have that going for us. Let's just use a speed up this time around on our carrier, so that way we can spend more time doing the review. I'm going to launch my drone over here. As you can see, you can do the trick. The previous time it was just slopping me. That is just insane. You see how much damage I did? Use of our launch? That is just bonkers. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like making anyone having a bad day just being hit out of the blue just like that. And they were smart because it's such a good damage. Of course, they're not going to allow you to launch that like 2 or 3 rounds of guided missiles, because that will reduce too much damage. Okay, it's time to go. Let's reverse on this. Compare it quicker. Okay, yeah, so you cannot compare the amount of sheer damage that you can do at the beginning of the match. Let's stop here. Let's continue with our drone. Sorry, buddy, I had to do those things. Anyways, we'll have to wait for our drone to pop back again. For now, we're just going to continue our assault. So what do I think about it? I mean, like, for example, this is a strike fighter, right? And it's meant to be, to some extent, like, hit harder than an actual drone. But now the amount of damage that I was able to do at the beginning of the match, that was just impressive. But we're going to try that again, maybe with this big rant over here, because he's getting himself exposed. I am just going to make sure to tickle it just a couple more times, just to secure victory, of course. Okay, let's go with the drone again. Let's see if we have the chance to give it to someone. Yep. That was weird. Why did you decide to do that? I don't know. Let's test how we can do at close range. Jesus Christ, this thing is busted. It feels like a bomber. Oh my god. And again the submarine is out. Let's help our teammates as usual, right? Because okay, so as we speak, do I recommend this drone? I mean, if you have the resources, if you are a person that uses drones constantly, I do recommend it. It's a little bit busted. I think it's going to be nerfed. But Quaker can do things almost the same. I mean, I'm sure that most of you, of course, prefer to use the strike fighters as your main source of damage, but yeah, this is a very good alternative. Will you consider getting 2 of them instead of 1? That is actually something interesting to consider. I don't know. I mean, is it worth it? Yes. Should get 2? You don't have to. Will I get 2? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But I think it's completely worth it. I mean, of course, they make it look very busted when the match begins. I mean, as soon as any item comes up, but then afterwards, of course, they're going to nerf it a little bit. Let's see the damage of this thing. 430, yes, the estimation based on my previous match. So yeah, I think it is totally worth it. Quite an item they launched out there. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy the review. Okay, my last thoughts about this drone and something that I missed mentioning over here. Let's do this very quick cap over here so I can use it on the thumbnail. I think this is a very, very good drone. Of course, it's better than Quaker. It can also hit air targets, which is very useful. But it comes with a small but. In order to make the most of this drone, you have to learn how to use the trick on guided missiles. In order to really like say like, yeah, this is busted. Because if not, it's like a no, I'm not saying like a normal drone, but you are losing a lot of what this can do. So if you are a person that does not focus a lot on that, If you just don't want to use your drone as much, and believe me, I understand you. Most of the times I use my drone only to take out planes, which actually this thing can do. But if you're the kind of person who's like, okay, it's floating in the air, it's trying to take out some planes, and I may do damage with it every now and then, but it's not my priority, then maybe I'll just say stick with the Quaker. You can do almost the same as the Warrior. Otherwise, if you are very invested into guided missiles, I think it's totally worth it. Anyways, that's it for me for today. I hope you are getting ready for the end of the year and Christmas, right? So I wish you all to have good festive times. I may slow down just a tiny bit on the videos because obviously this is like a celebration. We have to stay with the family. But aside of that, I'll leave you to it. Thank you very much for popping by. Remember to leave a comment and subscribe. This is Foxhound signing off. Have a good day.